because when you're in Scientology, which is a cult, needing to pay taxes, but they should. And they use slave labor and they're terrible, but Aaron was attacked outside of the Scientology Center. It just, gives me the ick. I don't know what has been fully explained to the police. There is his side. There's Aaron's side. There's something in between. And I feel like a lot of it's getting missed. But like Aaron's whole thing is like it's on camera. You guys can see the camera, all the different camera angles that shows that. Today I want to talk about the Aaron Smith Levin and the Hollywood incident that happened. I am not a Scientologist, never been a Scientologist. I lived in Hollywood. I know of Scientology because I'm from Nebraska, and I like to joke that things from Nebraska include the person that created Kool-Aid, the person that made the McRib, Chimney Rock from the game Oregon Trail, and yeah, L. Ron Hubbard from middle of nowhere, Nebraska. Okay.
Come on over here and I'll fill you in on how the Church of Scientology works. You see, Stan, Scientology was founded by a great man named L. Ron Hubbard. Mr. Hubbard discovered that negative emotions are actually caused by things called body thetans. Really? Yes, and being the genius that he was, Mr. Hubbard invented a way to get rid of those bad thetans. This is called an e-meter. It's the main tool of Scientology. You just grab hold of these handles as I talk you through past experiences in your life. I'll be taking readings here, and we'll be able to determine your thetan levels.
I lived in California for a while, so I did experience parts of California that if you're not there, you won't necessarily know. Aaron Levin Smith, who has the channel Growing Up in Scientology, who he grew up in Scientology and then he left Scientology with his wife, which he has now gotten divorced. That part doesn't matter. But so he investigates Scientology now and interviews people that are leaving Scientology. And he had a foundation for a while where he was helping people that got out of Scientology get back into the real world. Because when you're in Scientology, which is a cult, you don't really make any money. You are not able to take care of yourself, and leaving, you have cut out all the people that are not in Scientology because they're suppressive people. And when you leave Scientology, then you get cut out unless you leave on like good terms, which is really hard to do. And then you get like attacked by Scientology because they are a crazy cult. I've watched Aaron Levin Smith for quite a while. He goes into a lot of different topics. Growing Up in Scientology, great channel. Check him out. Definitely advise it. But he took a trip out to California to join the protests that are going on outside of the Scientology Center that they've been doing on like TikTok as well as YouTube, where they are protesting the Scientology Center. And Aaron was attacked outside of the Scientology Center. The person that attacked him, they are saying, is hired by Scientology to attack the protesters, that he is a Scientology plant. Okay, so I do want to break this down into like a few different perspectives. So to start, we'll go into Aaron's perspective first, with the incident and his live stream. So let's get into it.
A block away.
But so yeah, he did a live stream 3 days ago. So I did get a little busy, and I do all of my own editing. So it's been about 3 weeks ago, probably 4 weeks by the time that I get this out. But it was 3 days ago when I was streaming this at the time. Where he was out in California. You could see he's like on site, and there's a lot of different live streams happening. Here, I'll put it back.
It certainly looked like they were.
And he's kind of walking around for a bit and chatting with people, and they're standing outside of the doors, and they're talking about how you could see them in there, and they're making phone calls in there. They do make some phone calls. And this is the Scientology Center, and they're allowed to, this is on the sidewalk, so, you know, they're not necessarily blocking the door. They're just kind of looking in, and they're allowed to do this. They're on public property.
Oh, I forgot there's
so
a whole
he's kind of
thing
walking
over
around.
Here.
Yep, he sees this thing and like kind of records over it. They're just like putting their camera up. So they're not going in there. They're just like looking around. This guy has a live stream, and I've got his angle. Yeah, there's the dog. I just saw the dog. There's the dog right there poking around the corner. Now the dog, I think, is part of his niche to like talk with people, and he gets to go in where he wants because he has the dog. He doesn't have to worry about being rejected because it says service dog. See, there he is. He's coming around the corner. He's waiting on his dog. Yep, this dude's over here talking about RTC. You can see in the background the guy with the dog, okay? I was trying to like, okay, so does he stop and talk to him? No, he doesn't stop and talk to him. He like walks right by. He doesn't bother with that one. Oh, and this is when the person comes into view. This is the guy. Aaron recognized him from other Scientology protester video. And he's going to say something about it.
That's the guy who used his dog as a weapon against the Squirrel Squad.
Okay.
Are you the guy who used your dog as a weapon against the squirrel squad?
Now, if you're a person walking down the street and you hear that's the dude that used the dog as a weapon, you're probably gonna stop and be like, what the fuck? Like, even if you don't know what they're talking about, you're just gonna be like, what the fuck?
That's
Like,
the guy who used his dog as a weapon against the squirrel squad.
he stopped here. And I get it. As a person that had a dog, if I was walking my dog down the street and somebody was like, that's the person that used their dog as a weapon, I'd be like, what the fuck? Now, this person, he is on video in another day attacking, but...
Are you the guy who used your dog as a weapon against the squirrel squad?
Okay, so Aaron did take a few steps kind of closer to him, and this guy's like, not happy. Right now, we're just going on one side. This is Aaron Smith Levin's side.
Huh?
Okay, he said, number one, I don't know you. He doesn't want to be on camera. He doesn't give a fuck about his agenda. Leave him the fuck alone. He's a private citizen. Leave fuck for your own safety.
Well, I'm on a public sidewalk right here.
So you could say that's a little bit of a threat there. I mean...
I'm not for you to be fucking harassing, asshole. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm a combat veteran, PTSD, fucker.
Okay, so he knocked the camera down, and that's where he punched him. And he let his dog go, and his dog, when he's saying "Go King," and then another girl that was there came over and grabbed the phone, and he got his dog and walks off. The vest is definitely saying service dog, not a service dog. So then he walked off. Aaron came and got his camera.
Wow.
And
wow, I'm glad we got that on camera. That's the same guy who assaulted the fucking squirrel squad.
So they do put up the other angle. He hits the phone off of the stick with his cane, and when he goes to grab his phone, he gets punched in the side of the head, and then he uses the stick to like hold the dog off from attacking him. But when he reaches down to grab his phone, he kicked it, and then he punches him, and he let go of his dog, and the dog runs after him. But then he, so he's holding out the stick because he was using the stick to put the end of the dog's mouth. And so he grabbed his dog and, walks off.
Guys, and the thing is, this thing. That guy has used his dog twice so far in the last 2 weeks to come out here and threaten and intimidate the squirrel squad with his dog.
So he put a compilation together. Yeah, this is a different confrontation. Okay, so the dog is not a service animal. The reason why he has a service animal vest on the dog is so he can have the dog with him at all times, and nobody can question him because the ACA protects service animals. Kind of fucked up. 100% agree. He is using the service animal vest as a way to get away with taking that animal anywhere when it is not a service animal, which is terrible for people that actually have service animals because the places he's taking that dog, and it's causing issues. Then when people come in with real service animals, they don't believe it because jackass over here brought his dog in and caused a big fucking ruckus. So now they want to ban all service animals. So now the person that has a legitimate reason to have their service animal with them for a health reason or whatever fucking bullshit, that it is actually trained in an actual legit service dog, but because of him, sorry, side tangent done. It pisses me off so much. Okay. He pulls out like a baton thing.
I'm filming it or no. I'm not putting the camera away.
And they are by the Scientology Center. He was walking by, and this,
If you hit me, that's assault.
he doesn't want to get involved. Do they close the door? That would be hilarious. So this happened right here on Hollywood Boulevard in front of the Scientology Center. And the security guard's trying to be like, hey, calm down, and he's like, but your dog is freaking out and about to bite people. Can you please just move on? It's causing a whole issue. And then this is an alleyway that cuts. Now,
what's your problem? So you're a Scientologist?
Out of your way to fucking search truth,
Yes,
motherfucker.
absolutely. It's a scam. You let it go on. You let a scam go on in our neighborhood, and you're proud of that? You are proud of letting a scam go on? I think.
so this was a December 28th of 2023. The other incident happened 3 days ago. I want you to notice his jacket's the same jacket, and it looks like he's wearing the same jeans in all 3 videos. Okay, so Aaron gets hit. He's kind of walking around, and everybody's like, I'm live, tell my stream, which I feel bad. And they shut the doors. Okay, and so he's like walking around, and they're like, somebody called the police. So he wants the police called. Somebody said that they called the police. They are telling Aaron, and Aaron also believes that the guy that assaulted him is a Scientology plant, that Scientology had him come out there and attack Aaron to get them like out of there or whatever.
Instead of just filing a report. And
when does he ask for the cops to be called? Let's find out that.
I'm filing the fucking police charges on that. He hit me right in the head, dude.
I'm filing police charges.
The guy with the fucking dog.
31
the guy
minutes.
Who attacked you guys last week with the
when
dog.
does he ask for the police?
That is the same guy.
When does he say, like, did somebody call the police? That's what I want to know. Okay.
The guy with the dog from 2 weeks ago who fucking attacked. We need to call the police, for real. Someone.
So it took about 46 seconds. You know, that's not bad to request. That's not bad at all.
And I live streamed it.
Yeah.
Where did he go? Oh, he went walking. No, the police
Okay,
know who
so
he is. I got him the fucking straight.
So somebody has to be calling right about now. One of these people is probably on the phone.
His fucking it's either Kane
or they're
Sam.
all just still talking to each other. I don't know what time they're
And he punched. No, not Joe.
like what time they actually called. I don't know who actually called, but they said somebody called the police.
He let his dog go and the dog chased me. And I
don't know. That's the thing. They talk about how long it took for the cops to come out, but I don't ever see Aaron get on the phone and call the police. So who?
Look who shut the doors. Maybe that's who they jumped on the phone with.
When were the police actually? Can you call the police? So he asked again here at 32:39. So what happened? Called the police. We're live. Tell my stream. He's like, I want somebody to call the police. That's what he's trying to say right now. And she's like, tell my stream. And he's like, I want somebody to call the police. That's my question at the moment. We're focusing on one question at a time.
Hi. Name right here, Hollywood Boulevard. Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay, so that guy is, but yeah, so we can see that guy in the background on the phone. This one, and the Dodgers. He was live streaming, but he called. That's OG. Okay, so 3146. He looked at the Dodgers guy in the McLovin, and he said somebody needs to call the police. And that dude is a true OG. I will say right there. He said, "Okay, will do," and he flipped his little live stream thing into a telephone again, and he was on the phone. Guy McLovin back here, Dodgers, was like, I called the police. I got you, homie.
And I was like,
that's a true friend. I hope that he knows that's a friend that's got his back. So he's still on the phone here at 36 minutes. They're like talking. They start following after him. And they kind of surround him. They're saying that they hired the black guy to come out and intimidate people. Now, Scientology definitely does hire people to, like, intimidate. They do hire people to harass. They hire people to stalk people. They make up all kinds of crazy shit and make up fake websites to, like, bug people that left Scientology, people who talk out against Scientology, all that shit. I totally get that.
Right. Mike, how do they find us? By tracking your airline reservations. That's legal? No. But you can do it. But it's an intimidation tactic, right?
Well, it doesn't intimidate me. It makes me want to retaliate, you know, because I'm not going to stand for it. Do you think anybody's going to now be in our lobby of the hotel?
Who's this guy? What's that guy doing?
With the phone, right?
Yep. There's two guys with like their phones. Yeah, look at how they're like pointing this way.
They both have their phones pointed this way.
I got the guy with his phone.
No, the other one too. The other one had his phone.
I can just see one. You mean the guy right here? Oh, yeah.
No, both of them. Yeah.
We should ask these guys how long he's been sitting there.
Yeah, that's us. Excuse me. Are you aware of how long those guys have been sitting in the lobby?
With the phone pointed at us? Can you ask if they're guests?
There a while, actually. I didn't even notice them until just now.
Can you ask if they're guests of the hotel? I can't.
They're both leaving? Interesting.
They both have similar looking.
Those two are PIs for sure.
I got a picture of their license plate. One man who turns out that he owns his own private investigative company. And another guy who claimed that he worked for TMZ.
was driving that man who owns the private investigating company. He was driving his wife's car. So just as they have access to information, so do I.
Where Aaron, who grew up in Scientology, who sees Scientology as this big evil bad, and so he speaks up. There's a lot of people around this guy with their cameras out following him, and if he has mental health issues, I am proud of him for not snapping.
Okay. I don't want to keep following him. It seems
And
like
Aaron's like, yeah, like that's not a good idea. And he's like, let's go back over here. He's like, there's no point. But if you go from this perspective, they did follow him. A lot of them followed him for a while with a lot of cameras screaming at him. This is somebody else's live stream. This is not growing up in Scientology's live stream. They're like following him and yelling at him. And then all the vendors are involved. So like it got a little bit extra crazy. And so it's a weird, like, I get where they come from, where Aaron's part's coming from. Aaron didn't follow, like, he did a little bit, but just because he wanted him to be arrested, because Aaron got punched in the head by him. So I get where Aaron, but all these street vendors are coming over and they're being like, he was followed. I mean, go watch Growing Up in Scientology's live stream. I'm not showing the whole live stream. Go watch it on his YouTube channel if you want to watch the whole live stream. So the police just showed up and they told Aaron, hey, the cops are here. So he's sitting here talking with them. Cops show up. At what point did the actual cops walk up, though? Okay, so 104. Are there cops here? They're waiting for the cops. Okay. So they got all these guys and they're like, what are y'all doing while y'all harassing them? They brought race into it. And they're like, no, we're waiting for the cops. So they called homie McLevin in the Dodgers hat, called at 32 minutes. They show up at 1:08.
You know why it's crazy they shut it down? That occurred 50 feet down the street. It didn't occur in front of their doors. It occurred 50 feet down the street. No, I've been here for an hour. I've been here. Shut it down. No. Yeah. And that dude that supports Scientology just did something criminal. Oh, hey. We got him on the stream.
So she says the guy that supports Scientology.
He's got a pit bull. Wait, what kind of dog is that?
Does he fully support it, or does he just feel like a neighborly camaraderie because he sees them all the time?
Wow. I knew it was going to get crazy, but I didn't know it was going to get dog attack crazy. Right on a public sidewalk, filmed, live streamed by tons of people. Oh, they're saying the cops are there near...
And like I said, when he came over to this area, he's sitting there talking with all of the vendor guys, and all of the vendor guys are coming up and talking to the police. This isn't even where the assault happened. None of these vendors saw the assault. They just saw all of the streamer guys around him with their cameras.
He did.
And
nice. I saw 20 other people that were live.
That they all were like saying that the street vendors are saying that all these live streamer guys are harassing him. They know of this community of people and the issues that they have. Like, unfortunately, a lot of them are transients and do live in the encampments close by, and they have to tear them down, and it causes the relationships to be really tense between the police and the transient community. It could be extremely tense. A lot of these vendors can have a lot of issues on a regular basis with people, so the cops build up a relationship with the vendors just to have like that community and like not animosity, not tension every time they come on scene. I'm not a police officer at all. I am not a mental health person, but he does have mental health issues. He even says so himself at a certain point. It happened outside the Scientology Center. But again, all of these vendors that he went over and is obviously friends with, because he is part of that community of people, are telling the police, like, all of these live streamers were harassing him. So the police are like...
Sent him saying that, like, so many people were following him, but that was way after.
That was after.
Yeah. And then they nicknamed one of the other cops McLevin, but, like, they're all trying to clown on McLovin, and I just want to point out that it was the dude McLovin that was wearing the McLovin shirt and the Dodgers hat that was the person that ended their live stream and actually called the police for Aaron when he asked for somebody to call the police. There was 6 or 7 people with fucking cameras, phones, and all that shit, and only one person actually ended the stream. This guy. Everybody kept calling him McLovin. And I mean, I can kind of see it. He's like the Tan McLovin. We're going to call him Tan McLovin to separate him from McLovin shirt, Dodgers hat guy. So he's claiming that he assaulted him and attacked him because there was a large group following him. Again, he has some mental health issues. There's been incidents in the past with the other people recording.
I think it's the little dude.
So yeah, he's already been questioned like 2 or 3 times. But again, they called the police at 32 minutes. For sure, the phone call was made at 32 minutes. They got off the phone with the police at 36 minutes in the live stream. They arrived on scene at 1 hour and 9 minutes into the live stream. Or yeah, 2 hours and 25 minutes. He's talked to multiple officers. I don't know if they know that it didn't happen here. They might believe this is the site where it happened. I don't know what has been fully explained to the police. I know that they've seen videos. They've been shown a couple of videos on people's phones at this point.
Not yet. He's still right there.
So listen, I haven't wanted to give some additional. I'm standing exactly where you're standing.
So he came over. So this guy in the police car is the sergeant. So this is the guy in charge of the scene, and he doesn't even get out of his car. Tan McLovin, who was like one of the first responding, and then one of the guys that showed up later is talking with him. So Aaron, who was assaulted.
And she's saying, I do need to tell you guys about him saying, threatening, I'm going to kill you. She says that's what makes it a felony. You guys seem to be questioning whether you're going to arrest this guy or not. No, I don't need to talk to anyone. I mean, it's the video. It's 2 hours I've been standing here. Look, I'm not here to argue.
And it has been almost 2 hours. It was 29 minutes when he was assaulted. And it's 2 hours and 24 minutes.
I didn't want this to take any longer than it had to, so I didn't want to be like, oh, by the way, I want to add some extra information. But in case your report doesn't already reflect the fact that
so like, yeah, this is super fucked up.
I want it officially in there because I'm told that's what makes it a felony. I'm on a PPF or a PPA, I'm on a personal or whatever it is. You guys know what it is. I don't. Okay. He threatened to kill me.
He was assaulted.
He assaulted me on a goddamn sidewalk, and I want him fucking arrested.
And it's been 2 hours of him just sitting here, and he's like, what the hell?
He's not gonna.
But you can see he's got the 3 stars, so he's the top. He's the one above everybody else. The Iceman has 2.
Walk away from this. That's the information.
Yeah, 3 stripes, not stars.
I'm standing where you guys are standing.
Here's Iceman. Iceman.
I'm the one that was assaulted.
But, okay, so what he's saying isn't necessarily wrong. The police do like to say you can't stand on the street because it's for your safety. They're trained professionals, so they're trained to look out. They have liability insurance, so they're allowed to be in the street, but you're not. So the cop's like, get off the street.
Sharing information.
And he's like, I'm just trying to add, Aaron is being a little aggressive at this point. But I will say the couple of times that they've talked to Aaron, there's a few things that I wish Aaron would have said.
You know, I need to talk to one of the officers. Oh, sorry.
Where does Aaron get pulled off to the side and talk to the police? Okay, so he comes up. Okay, so he was on scene right away. It was those 4 together on scene right away with all the vendors.
It's all on live stream.
He attacked me. No, I didn't. I was 15 feet away from him.
Look, you don't know.
No, not in he was walking away from me. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Are you gonna file a PPA?
Of course. I'm filing charges. He assaulted me. He hit me in the head with he punched me in the head. He knocked. What's that? No, I want him arrested. He assaulted me on live stream in front of his cane. He punched me in the head on a live stream. And he sicked his dog on me. Yes. I'm live.
Okay, so what the officers wanted him to do is stop it right there and pull it up and show him the video. I get what he was trying to say. Aaron's like, fuck that. I'm not ending my live. I'm going to find somebody to pull it up.
Can you pull up my live stream where I was assaulted?
Okay, I get that. He's like, I am not ending this. This is staying, all of this is staying on. The vendors are still on the side. Well, yes, this is the beginning of the cops getting there. So all the vendors, so this is like showing all the stream and all of that. Again, remember, on this stream, Aaron's stream, you don't see the punch. Because the camera was knocked off. So they show this.
Huh? You'll see the video evidence.
There's a reason why he punched you in the head. You'll see the evidence.
Yes. You'll see.
And they're like, we were filming in front of the Scientology building. So the cops know that it wasn't at this spot. The cops do at here. Okay, so 113. The one officer asked. So again, Aaron's doesn't show that part. But the other girl does have the actual punch on there. And so she comes over to show.
I'm going to put it on fast forward.
Yeah, she's like, I gotta ask him for help to get to the clip. Because again, this is all on live stream. So somebody already clipped out the punch for her and emailed it, I believe, or is gonna email it.
Okay, watch this, watch this.
But you could see like all of the different vendors talking to the cops and talking to the other people.
I'm talking to my live stream. I said, that's the guy who used his dog to assault the protesters last week. Watch what happens. I'm nowhere near him. He turns around, I step.
So they show the video.
Nothing in my hands but a phone. I don't even approach him. Look at this, and watch what happens. Watch what happens. He hits that is assault. And then he punches me in the head right there, and that's on other people's live streams.
At this moment.
And then Liz right there is the one who picked up my phone off the sidewalk.
And then.
That's what happened. And
I don't know what time they show the other video.
Hey, they're saying they need to see the video where I actually got punched.
Okay. So she's trying to pull that up. You can hear. Someone said they emailed it. Yeah.
It's the third time he's used his dog to attack the protesters.
And he got sick of waiting, so he walked over there. This Asian dude's just like, okay, I don't know. I just want to see the video. So she's showing the video here.
I'm just trying to see the video, that's all.
Of the other angle.
I'm sorry.
Which doesn't even look like the other angle.
Yeah, it's a little awkward.
The other two kind of moved him away because they're trying to de-escalate it. The police are trying to de-escalate.
Typical cop questioning. What did you do? Did you do anything? Was there any reason why he punched you? You do anything to make him punch you?
Okay.
I showed him the video, but then when the phone gets knocked out of my hand, you don't see him on my video punch. He's like, we're gonna.
And then they're all over there talking with him and talking with him.
Is there still a red mark on the side of my head where he punched me?
So like you can see they're talking to him for a while, and they talked to Aaron for.
The guy who uses.
So they're waiting to be seen the second video here. Okay. They've already stopped asking Aaron any questions. They just want to see the video. But they're talking to Dog Guy. They really only talked to him for like 2-3 minutes here.
Growing up in Scientology. Guys, the reason it's not on more of the cameras is because I was almost half a block away from the test center.
118. But they're just looking at clips. They're not asking Aaron any questions. Okay, so they're pulling her off to the side because he's going to have her email over all of those videos.
Okay, here it is. Officer?
They are sending those over. Supposedly, they had a detective that was watching the live stream.
Do you want me to show you? Do you want me to show you again?
He's like, did you want me to show you?
It says it's a service dog. What kind of service dog attacks people?
Yeah.
Because Scientology uses him to intimidate the protesters. I know. You think it wouldn't be so hard. Well, I didn't get up with the police. Oh, can I show you the segment you wanted to see? Okay. You can see the cane in his hand. That's on his left hand. That's the only cane he has on him. Okay? See? There it is. It's in his hand right there. That's the cane he hit me with right there.
Okay,
and then he punched
so...
me. He let his dog go and punch me. Okay.
447.
Bro, your officer, no disrespect.
Okay. So they walk away from Aaron again. I don't want to skip around too much because I'm trying to pay attention to how much the cops are But yeah, that's when he kind of stopped talking to Aaron, and he walked over and showed the other cop the video. The cop, he didn't seem to care.
Is it obvious?
Yeah, your head is raised up too, bro.
Yeah, it's all swollen and shit.
Okay.
Here. Okay, they got what they needed. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I ran around all the neighborhoods and finally found him in an alleyway.
You did it.
We got his ass. That's what it looks like.
Okay. Hour and 22 minutes. He asked for his ID. So his...
Sorry.
And asked him if he doesn't want him arrested.
About to put him in cuffs.
And then they told everybody to back up. That was at an hour and 23 minutes. And now I'm tracking the police interaction with him.
We'll get out of your way. We'll get out of your way.
Okay. Now they're just telling him to stay back. When did they move over there?
What do I know? I'm not a lawyer.
Oh yeah, because of the drummer guy stepped back up. So he wanted to move away from the drummer.
I don't know. They weren't even sure it was going to be a felony. I mean,
Really?
there's no...
And not to mention, obviously he's abusing this dog.
Yeah, he moved over to get away from the drums.
They wouldn't even be bothering. Well, not on this phone, but it's the same footage I showed you. One of these guys has a video.
It's now been another 20-something minutes that he's just standing around like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, he does have a dog, so they let him make a phone call. Somebody's supposed to be coming down to get the dog. Okay, more cops showed up. Got a girl, another guy. Porn stash coming, chilling up. Alright. Oh, there's McLovin. Tan McLovin was looking for Aaron. Okay, here comes Tan McLovin at 1:48:30. You see him looking for him. He's like, where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
Well, not on this phone, but it's the same footage I showed you. One of these guys has a video. Was it you or someone had a 27-second clip of the live stream? Who was showing it to me? Can you ask Solomon if it was him or if it was Snazzy or...
Oh, and he already walked away, so he just came over. So, asked for clip again. But if you notice, a lot of the other transients are stopping and saying hi to him.
Came and screenshotted the video, and I forwarded him all of the videos.
So does he not understand? Oh, so he says, can I see it from your perspective?
Yes. Believes that he is Scientology, and that's why he's attacked him. So Aaron wants him fucking arrested. He was just punched in the head. And so I understand Aaron being upset. I do believe Aaron is wrong in believing that he's part of Scientology. So they're getting more and more cops because there is a lot of people recording. There's a weird crowd gathering. And they're worried that when they arrest the one guy, it's going to piss off the vendor crowd. And they're trying to figure out a way still to defuse this. There's a certain point here. And see, the vendor guys are coming up. These are the vendor guys. And they're like, keep coming up and talking. So that's the issue that's happening, that's slowly building up. There's multiple factors at play here. It's not just one issue. But like, look at how many... You see the fucking line of people with their cameras? So there's these people that don't like these people. They need to go about it a little bit different. Just change a couple of their tactics and they will make such a difference. But they don't even see what the problem is. So what's happening here could be multiple things. But I know that they are trying to work on the community between the cops and the transient community, the vendor community, because they have a lot of issues, and there's lots of issues and lots of turmoil and lots of frustration between the homeless and the police. So they've been working to try to build up relationships and friendliness with cops on the streets and vendors and transients and stuff like that. So yes, when they're on patrol, they should be stopping and high-fiving and hugging them and chit-chatting and catching up. But when you're reporting to scene, you probably shouldn't be doing this. Yes, it's an hour and something into the investigation, but it's just weird the way he shows up. Aaron immediately locks on and sees him and knows it's him. And he is, I believe, getting told the information right away by them. But he's associated to Scientology. He's been linked to Scientology. But yeah, he walks around and buddies up with all the vendors, stops and chats with like all of them. Well, not all of them, but pretty much. That's Iceman. Everybody's nicknamed him Iceman. He's the next person to be involved. So he goes over and chats with Tan McLovin and gets a little bit of information. He has 2 stripes, which means he's a corporal. Sergeant's in the car. Here, he's walking around, chit-chatting with all the vendors. Because they see them all the time. But as you can see, they got their chairs, they got their blankets. Like, they're set up. They're comfy. They're regulars of that area and that situation.
No, I mean, I don't have to put you
So
on
he
camera,
said
but
he's gonna... He says he doesn't want to turn off the camera. Okay.
No, I showed him.
Okay.
You can come over here. We're gonna talk on, so we can just
So now they want to actually investigate with him.
You listen, just so you know, you're more than welcome to have your camera on. I don't have any problem with that. I'm not gonna stick it in your face though. Yeah, great. And if you can just, we would like to show you the professionalism, courteousness that you deserve. If we can just have everyone else kind of step aside, so it's not like I can't ask them to leave. Yeah. So he wouldn't talk to me because they wouldn't walk away. That's not professionalism and courtesy. Who would talk to you? They're gonna talk to me? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, let's go. Go ahead. So I just want to backtrack. How was I unprofessional? Oh, come on, let's go. Go ahead. Begin this conversation. What's the name, sir? I mean, what you just did was not professional. I've given my name to 3 officers. What do you? Well, then send back the investigating officer. Send back the investigating. Wait. Why is a new officer asking me the questions? Why is it? Just explain to me why a brand new officer is asking the question.
Unfortunately, because there's usually a responding officer and then an actual like.
Aaron, but just so you know.
But this is not Talman.
Officers who were here.
So this is a completely another one. But we got Tan McLovin still chilling. Tan McLovin's been investigating.
12 fucking officers who were here.
But yeah.
In the right division. Then why did 2 of them take all of my information?
He was just a responding officer.
But they can't give you the info.
He's not investigating him.
Can you hold my phone?
So now he just wants all of his information and to see the video.
Aaron on the streets, you guys.
Oh, Dodgers hat put on a hoodie.
Oh God. Shout out to Aaron's chat.
He's no longer McLevin shirt guy.
Extremely engaged, you guys.
Must have gotten chilly in the 2 hours they were waiting for the police. Yeah, it's probably like 4 or 5 p.m. there. Temperature's just starting to go down. So yeah, he's talking with them. So yeah, they're actually taking a statement. It's been about 4 or 5 minutes that they've been talking, which is good. They finally are actually taking his full statement. They never fully took his statement before. They just kind of asked what was going on, and then they were trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. McLovin shirt Dodger hat, dude, that has his back. He's sitting there all right there. Like, look at him. Right there recording the whole thing and has it all. This dude, that has to be his friend, or if he's not, they should be friends now because he's been looking out and recording. This dude that he gave his camera to just decided to move across the sidewalk and you can't hear shit, you can't see shit. 7th time that they've walked up and asked a question, but they're actually talking with him.
On this guy here? Keep the camera on him? Oh, on Aaron. Okay, we'll do it on Aaron. Here's Aaron over here.
So 2:30, 2 hours.
No battery.
Oh, you got a charger? Okay.
Right, so they walked away 2 hours, 37 minutes and 15 seconds there. Okay.
Wow.
So we finished that cop interaction. So they talked to him that time for 7 minutes. They actually got a statement that time.
Right now we are.
He said, "You recorded the police?"
Yeah. Here,
Oh, okay, so he came up. Okay. And they're asking him to fill out something. I'm just curious how long they actually talked to Aaron.
Oh, guys, this is literally Michael, just to let you know.
So he's filling something out. They're not actually even asking him anything. They're just having him write out what happened.
Okay. Literally crazy ass day. Here's Mr. Aaron.
All right, and already done. It's been a minute, 2 minutes, 1 minute and 30 seconds. I get why he's annoyed because it's they didn't even really talk to him. The few times that he went over and tried to talk to them, they're just okay, no, just step back.
The test center's getting arrested.
Someone.
But if you notice, this is a common occurrence for them to stop and start yelling at the people with the cameras.
I can't tell if the guy on the bike is upset with the police or upset. Who's he talking to? He's talking to someone.
Exactly. They don't like your cameras. They don't like your cameras. He sees his friend with all these cops, so he's immediately saying the guy with the cameras are the ones that are the fault. They haven't arrested him right away, I believe, because he has the dog. and he made a phone call earlier, so somebody I believe is coming to get the dog. And you see him like looking back and forth during it, so I believe he's, waiting for somebody to get there to come get his dog. Like the tourists alone. Look at the tourists like coming up, take a picture of all that. Here we go. This is who he called to come get the dog. Now, I don't know if you see, to me, do you see more of where I'm saying I get the feel, not necessarily that they're homeless, but it does give me that slight transient community feel. I mean, they could be veterans together. I don't know what the situation is. I am putting a lot of my own thoughts and perspectives into this. But, I mean, you can tell by the attitudes.
Stand by.
And, like, he came to get the dog. Here's Talman again. Now listen to what Talman has to say.
If you would like the fellow arrested for the battery,
yes,
we have no problem facilitating a private person's arrest.
Yes.
With you being that private person.
Yes.
At which point you will be required to go to court to make sure that you follow through with those elements of the arrest.
You got it.
At the same time, listening to his clarification of his side of the fact, I always say there's three sides of every story. What you say, what he said, and it's something in between. Okay, so
I get where the cop's saying that. And there is the truth. There is his side. There's Aaron's side. There's something in between. There is a truth in between. And I feel like a lot of it's getting missed. This is still not even the part that I'm like, this is where it's fucked up. Okay, so right now he's saying like, yep, we can't arrest him. But like Aaron's whole thing is like, it's on camera. You guys can see the camera, all the different camera angles that shows that they for sure had the one clip where it does show that he's punched. So the officer right now is explaining, yep, that they can arrest him.
Something in between. Okay, so just so you know, he's saying that you were following him around. He repeatedly told you to leave. Let me finish before you interject.
I'm not going to interject.
What's up, guys? Good. How are you? Good to see you. He repeatedly told you to stop following him around. He was not a member of the Church of Scientology, and you continued to accost him with.
Can you open it for me?
You continue to try to accost him with the camera and got up in his face. And
So Aaron technically did not bring up Scientology. He didn't say he was with Scientology. He said, are you the one that attacked the ones with the Squirrel Squad? Now, the guys on this night said that he was with Scientology and are screaming at him about how he's supporting a scam and supporting Scientology. And there was a large group all like surrounding him on the 28th of December. This one, they kind of mentioned Scientology a little bit, but not too much. It is kind of brought up. But in this interaction, what it's saying at the bottom of the screen about has been assaulting anti-Scientology protesters on Hollywood Boulevard. He didn't say anything about that. He said the Squirrel Squad, which is what the anti-Scientology people have been calling themselves. So, as the cops are saying here about the Scientology, he's saying that he's been continuously harassed by all these live streamers. So, the cop is assuming that Aaron has been here all the time with all these live streamers because they're all the live streamers. So, they're just lumping all of the people with cameras in together. Or like the dog guy might be because he has mental issues. So they're all just the same person. They're all just the same people just keep coming after him. He doesn't know who they are.
We ran that by our detectives, and those are actually elements of stalking.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
I do love the fact, though, that he said that's adorable because Aaron doesn't live in California. He literally just arrived on an airplane. So it is adorable to him that they're saying that he could be charged with stalking when he just got to California and doesn't live there. So how is he going to possibly be guilty of stalking somebody when
that comes from our detective?
He just got there.
We are giving him, and he's disseminating all of our information.
Well, is the detective here?
The detective's at the station.
Did you send him the video?
The video, from what I saw,
there's 3 videos.
I know.
Did you send it to him?
Our sergeant has conversed with the detective after watching the video, and both sides are pretty clear. It looks like he swung that at you, and it also looks like he was also trying to defend himself and push you and some of the other people away.
Okay, go ahead. What's next?
Well, what's next is that we're going to try to facilitate a peaceful resolution of this situation.
Yeah, the cops don't know that.
No, I want him arrested.
All right. So, then
And I've watched all of this, even though I'm skipping around. I haven't stayed on any bit, but I've watched all of this earlier, previously, and I'm rewatching, and I'm being thorough on my rewatch because I was curious about how long he talked to the police and also all the things he said to the police. And never did I hear him say to the police that he just flew in 3 hours ago into Los Angeles. So the cops don't know even that he's not, like, they saw his ID. They don't know that he hasn't been here for a week doing this. They don't know that he just flew in 3 hours ago at this point. And I don't think Aaron says that at any point. I don't think he ever says, like, I just flew in. Here's my plane ticket. I just got here 3 hours ago. So how could I have been stalking him? I don't believe that's said. He just laughs and says that's adorable.
You want to arrest me for felony stalking? On a live stream? That's okay with me. Yeah. That's okay. There's 10,000 people watching.
What's happening?
And they saw it. He said that if I ask for him to be arrested, they're going to arrest me for felony stalking. So go ahead, officer, do your job. You want to throw me in cuffs tonight? We can do it. He said that if I proceed with an arrest on this guy, they are likely going to have to arrest me for felony stalking. Are you serious? And I said, do it.
Which, yeah, is what the cop implied.
I said, do it.
Was that if you guys went ahead with everything that they have, then they'll be arresting him with the felony stalking.
I said it.
And so he's letting the officer know that, yep, he is wanting him to be arrested.
What's his name? Common. Tell him about us out. Cello chat.
I'm here for it. They're trying to intimidate me.
Look at this jolly old guy with the camera. Look at how happy he is to be a part of this. This is like the most exciting thing he's done.
I don't care.
I love it so much. He's so happy to be there. He's so happy to be a part of this. The joy that man feels.
Signing a private person's arrest?
I will sign whatever I have to sign for him to get arrested. Okay.
Thank you for doing your job, officer. Finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
Threatening me with arrest when I was assaulted live streaming. All the evidence they need is in their hands, and they're acting like it's a he said situation. We've got 3 separate videos from 3 separate angles showing that he initiated unprovoked assault, and these cops are threatening to arrest me. You want to know why I love First Amendment auditors? This is why.
Oh, okay.
Here. And the battery.
Yep, here they came over. So they're having him sign the paper at 2 hours and 54 minutes. The guy in the Bulls jacket, what the fuck?
Get the dog out of here.
Jesus.
Enough by law for them to do their jobs? I think so.
The guy in the Bulls jacket's just instigating. Unnecessary. So yep, they're letting him know they're gonna arrest him, and he's like, so he's getting arrested too then? And then he got to the police station, and they realized that he just flew in like 3 hours before, so there's no way that they can actually charge him with stalking. But yeah, they had to wait for somebody to come get the dog. And you can tell the dog knows him.
They're coming to get me. Search! They're coming to get me. I can tell. I'm looking at their eyes. They're coming to get me. They're coming to get me. Look, they're eyeballing me right there. He's coming to arrest me.
Are you certain of that?
Well, we'll be certain in a moment. Here we go. You ready? That's why they closed it down. You ready? You ready?
Yeah, they started pushing everybody back. And they circled Aaron and they arrested him. He's right over here. And they took Aaron in. Okay. So, yep. They took him under arrest. All quick, yoinked him up. And there they escorted the black guy as well then. So they did not actually put the black guy into the car there until after they walked Aaron over to that car. Then, okay, so they're searching his pockets.
We got the facts on our MF side.
Okay. So, search his pockets, frisk him. They put the cuffs on him.
Well, I was a child there, and my passport was locked up. So, figure it out. Figure it the F out. Our passports were locked up as children. Is that normal for a church to do, to lock up your child's passport? By all means,
Okay.
advice.
So he pulled out his little book here to read him his Miranda rights. And so he starts going to read his Miranda rights. No, they're still patting him down. But he said right around here is when he was getting read his Miranda rights. And this one here in the front, I believe, comes over. No, they're still searching him.
We're gonna get him, you guys. We're calling lawyers pretty soon. The best of the best.
Okay, so yeah, here he's reading him his Miranda rights.
Dealing with our lawyers pretty soon, I hope.
And he looks over and he's like, no, you need to get him out of here. Just get him in the car. You need to get him out of here now. So he never got his Miranda rights finished getting read to him because this guy came over and was like, no, you need to just get him out of here. Get him out of here now. He's not in charge. He doesn't have no stripes on there. He's got stripes on his arm. That's his decision to make, not your decision. That's his decision. Why are you telling them to not read the Miranda rights and just go? If you start reading the Miranda rights, you should finish. But I know all of these cops are going to have like FOIA requests by people for their body cams. So soon we'll start getting all the footage from their body cameras. Because not all of them do, but a lot of them have body cameras on. So yeah, they will. I guarantee people are going to be requesting that shit and releasing it online. It's going to be blowing up all over YouTube. Yep, so everybody's all mad now that Aaron's gotten arrested and they're all yelling at the cops. So then they all went down to the station and they waited until
everybody here supporting for Aaron.
Aaron got released 6 hours later, and it started like building up more and more and more and more. He has a video when he got out.
I've been freed from jail.
There's a video from somebody streaming when he came out. There was a bunch of people and they all started hollering and yeah.
And the gimbal is out of power, so we're going to do shaky cam for the rest of the evening. I was not booked. I was not processed. I was not fingerprinted. I was not charged. They kept me chained. No fingerprints. They kept me handcuffed and chained to a bench for 6 hours and then let me go, acting as if they were doing me a favor by letting me go. I'll tell you what, there's this one officer. I'm going to go blank on his name because the street said his name, but I'm not going to remember his name. He was the instigator to all this one officer. And believe me, I'm going to be focusing on him next week because I've got tons of footage of him showing up to the scene.
Yeah, he did. He focused on him.
The original police officer
he knew to.
He got out of his car.
Oh yeah, that's when they walked back over.
Back padding with all of the friends of the guy that I was saying I wanted arrested. So that's what this officer did for 5 minutes before showing up on the scene.
It's because of the
live stream. I actually
said like
because he got out of his.
I get all sides. I get the dog guy's side. I get Aaron's side. I get the cop side. I understand from all perspectives, and it's so weird that like I'm like, how do people not slightly get it? And it's like, from all that I've seen, like nobody's understanding like that he's possibly transient, and that's that whole side.
The other officers actually
and
seem
like
they were there to do a job. This guy
these guys with the cameras are like, clearly we're not going to do anything. We have cameras, but it's like they
put on a show.
Youths are stupid and record a lot of stuff. So just because you have a camera out doesn't mean you're not breaking the law. So the cops just see a large crowd of people all like instigating in. Yep. So yeah, after he got out, they immediately went right back down.
There's gotta be a total pandemonium out here.
Yep. So yeah, he hasn't even crossed the corner
block of Hollywood and Highland
to like where all the people are. They just ran into like two small groups.
6 hours and let me go. Oh my God, you're kidding! Wow.
Yeah. The whole group. Yep.
Hey, are the doors open? Are the doors open to the test center? Or did
It's
they
like
shut up?
all these people live streaming. Yep. So yeah, they shut down the doors. They didn't reopen it after everything. Okay, now we're going to twist it up a bit. And I'm going to explain some thoughts I kept having while I was watching this. I want to go into this now from the perspective of the dog guy. So that's what we're doing. Aaron flew out to California to join the protests against Scientology, and he was attacked by somebody. I believe that somebody was a transient. I haven't necessarily proved that case. I don't know how to prove that necessarily besides digging into this guy's past, which I know there are going to be people that do that. And if he is a transient that just has mental health issues that doesn't like being recorded, which is what I believe, I feel really fucked up about digging up all of his life and all of his stuff just because he is possibly mentally unwell and had an episode and attacked somebody, which yes, attacking somebody is not okay, but knowing that some of those street performers are transients, knowing that a lot of those street performers and vendors make just enough to afford to have that booth, and that's a community of people that are there every single day that built up that kind of living on the street and making money off the tourists. And like with any tourist city that you go to around the world, in all of those tourist traps, there are scammers and people that do like little tricks. Like I said, I don't know if it was Rome or where that they were talking about that if the guy drops the brush in the shoe shine, that like don't pick up the brush because he's just gonna try and like force you into a shoe shine, and it's a whole thing. It's like a scam that they play off your nicety of picking up the brush to give it back to them. There's ones in Hollywood, and a lot of those, like if you're walking down the street in Hollywood or Santa Monica and somebody hands you something, you have no idea how difficult it is to get them to take back this thing that you didn't even mean to grab. It was just like, have it, like somebody handed you something, you just take it. And now they're trying to demand that you give them at least $5 or $10 or $20 is what they started. But then they'll drop down to $5 when you're like, no, here, no, here, no. I know the mentality of a lot of these people. I know how the mental health and drug issues are in California, and Hollywood especially is a shit show, and why I believe that one guy's a transient, and why I believe a lot of people should possibly back off of that black guy and not harass him when they see him on the street and not say he's part of Scientology. It's more likely that he's just part of the transient mental health community and has issues. And I'm not saying Aaron should drop the charges. I'm just saying I don't think he should press charges on him if he wants to take it out on Scientology. It's not... I don't believe that guy's linked to Scientology. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's so fucked up. It's such a weird... I'm not saying he's necessarily homeless. He could have an apartment. I'm just saying he's part of that community of people. He says that he has PTSD and that he is a combat war veteran, so he has some mental illness. Obviously, the dog guy, we're just calling him dog guy. And as he's walking by, he hears him say,
"That's the guy who used his dog as a weapon against the Squirrel Squad."
He doesn't know what the fuck. He just heard the first part, and he stopped and was like, "What the fuck?" And he turns and sees a guy with a camera.
"Are you the guy who used your dog as a weapon against the Squirrel Squad?"
And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, bro?"
Huh?
Don't point that at me, number one.
Don't point that at me, number one.
No, you don't give a fuck about your agenda. Leave me the
I don't give a fuck about your agenda.
fuck alone. I'm a private citizen. Leave me the fuck alone for your own safety.
Well, I'm on a public sidewalk.
He's already had multiple issues at this point with these guys with the cameras. So he's just like, I don't give a fuck about your agenda. I don't want anything to do with you guys. Leave me the fuck alone.
Right here.
I'm not for you to be fucking harassing, asshole. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm a combat
And he's like close to losing it. And he's about to be snapping.
I will fucking kill you.
Okay, so this is January 2nd of 2024. This is December 28th. So this one happened before this one. It's escalated. This video, he is approached by somebody recording while on the street. the fact that he is outside of the Scientology Center doesn't necessarily mean anything other than these girls came out to pet his dog because he walks by all the time with his dog and they know his dog and they were like, oh, hey, and they came out and said something, and then somebody else was like, you in Scientology. And this dude just fucking walks up on him recording. So, yeah, I kind of get where he's like, these people are stalking and harassing me. It just, this is the part that bothers me, but it's not.
You're back. I don't know you. Don't start shooting me. I don't know you. Quit filming. No, I'm not going to quit filming you. Absolutely not. I'm not going to quit filming you. It's a public street. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit filming. I told you quit pointing that fucking camera at me, didn't I? This asshole wants to sit here, keep filming me and harassing me. I'm just walking down the street.
It's a public street. It's a public street.
This one happened beforehand. And like,
not the military.
this one bothers me too, because like, look at the big group walking up on him all recording. It's just like, so they're like yelling at him about how he's like with Scientology, and there's no, because he's not on their side, so this guy's a coward.
Standing up to the scam. You allowed a scam go on. Don't shut the fuck up.
This guy recording,
Man, listen, you're defending the fucking scam.
I feel so bad for this guy. He's like probably a transient or in that community just being harassed by all these people. It just, gives me the ick.
So you're a Scientologist? Yes, absolutely. It's a scam. You let it go on. You let a scam go on in our neighborhood, and you're proud of that? You are proud of letting a scam go on? I think that's a coward move. I think you're doing a coward move by not standing up to the scam. You allowed a scam go on. Don't shut the fuck up. Fuck you. No, you're the one that sit there talking all this shit. Man, listen, you're defending the fucking scam. You allow a scam, that's some coward-ass move. You ever served the military? I mean, the fuck, they're not the military. That don't mean shit to me. The fuck.
Yep, totally. It is a public area, so they 100% have a right to record, whether or not the people like it. But this guy is slightly being harassed. He is aggressive. He does have the wrong kind of attitude, but he also has obvious mental health issues. So of course he's going to have the wrong kind of reactions. I'm just like, I see both sides. I see so many sides of this situation. And it's like, the more that I see, the more that I'm like, I feel really fucked up about this. Like, I can't, I disagree with Aaron that he's a Scientology plant. Okay. These guys that are recording and protesting, totally allowed to do that. That is totally within their First Amendment right. But it seems kind of fucked up, especially the way that they're walking up on him and being like, hey, hey, hey. Aaron just flew into California. He had maybe arrived 3-4 hours before the situation happened. So Aaron himself was not stalking or harassing him. This guy does not know who these people are or who specifically are all these people with these cameras that keep coming up to him and be like, hey, hey, hey. He's just like, what the fuck? Like, so where the Scientology people, they just stand on the street and they try to recruit random people walking by. So I see where he is siding more with the Scientology people than the protester people with these cameras. I could see where he would be like, y'all are the problem, not them. I can see where he is coming from. I understand. But if you look, he looks like he's wearing the exact same clothes. And this is the December 28th incident. He is wearing the same pants, I swear to God, and the same shirt that he is wearing on this incident. I mean, I don't know anything, but I have had experience with my brother having mental health issues and a lot of issues that he's dealt with. He hitchhiked across the country and lived out in California for quite a while. So I know about kind of the backside of Hollywood. I know about the dark side of these areas. My brother was one of these. There's a lot of transients in the area. And even if they're not fully homeless, they might have like a 1-bedroom apartment that's really small. They could have mental issues that they're like not really living in normal society. They don't like cameras. If people start yelling at them, it doesn't matter what it is. They're going to be antagonized by it and come like after them. So there's a part of me that sees this guy and it breaks a little bit of that part of me, or pulls that side of me out that sees him not as Scientology. I don't know. Scientology might give them food every now and then or clothing every now and then. I don't know what his link is to them. They might just be nice to him. They could give him water when he walks by every now and then. So as that person that is a transient that's not connected necessarily to Scientology but has positive feelings about them, I don't know. But then he could also have nothing to do with Scientology. He just sees these kids outside of Scientology with cameras. And again, I don't know what his deal is. I don't know anything about him. I'm not in the mental health industry. I'm just a normal person talking about what I've seen in the world. And to me, it seems like he has, as he said, he has PTSD. And he's a war veteran. He said that back here when he charged at Aaron. That is what he says. A combat vet with PTSD. A transient, or if he's not a transient, he's very close to that kind of lifestyle. He doesn't like being recorded. He doesn't like being confronted. He doesn't like anything towards him. He just wants to walk around with his dog and go and do whatever he wants to do. I'm not saying it's a good or a healthy situation that he's in. I'm not saying him being aggressive and attacking people is okay. I'm just saying that this irrational antagonism I see a lot with mental health situations and that kind of thing, that he sees them as the enemy, as these people with cameras walking around. So he's arguing with him, and then there's like, look at the 6 people walking up on him from behind with cameras pointing. If you're somebody with mental health issues that has PTSD and is in this lifestyle, that is gonna amp up the situation way worse to them, to where they're gonna feel like they're being harassed and attacked. And so this guy, if you point a camera at him and say something, I could see it accelerating and getting instigated into a bigger situation. So I get where they're like, they believe he's with Scientology. I don't know that he is. I don't know that he's not. But when I see him in the same plaid jacket and what looked like the same jeans, yeah, I have the same jacket, and over the winter I wear it a lot. I mean, it's, to me, it feels more that he is in that kind of community. He doesn't see the Scientology people as the enemy. He sees the people that chase him down the street with their cameras surrounding him, yelling and hollering. I get, what he did was super fucked up. I do. I totally get, like, he was irrational. My brother has mental health issues. I'm not saying don't throw him in jail, but at the same time, I feel bad. Look at all these streamers, and then look at the vendors' attitudes towards these streamers. They don't fucking like them. They don't want them there. So they're not part of the streamer community. Look at these guys. They're like, no, y'all are in the wrong. Like, y'all are fucking doing this shit. Y'all are instigating this. Y'all are causing issues. That's what these guys are saying to the streamers. So, and where they're at right now is not even the spot where the assault happened, but they're surrounded by these guys. But you can see him walking around and talking to the street vendors and be like, these guys are harassing me. These guys are harassing me. These guys with these cameras are harassing me. And he's telling all of the different street vendors, because he's friends with them, because he hangs out there all the time. Unfortunately, because he is what I believe. I don't know for sure. I don't know, but I believe he is a transient. Like I said, I lived out in California, and actually, this is one of the street performers that
Dennis was the famous
hangs
Hollywood
out
Boulevard
on
Superman for 25 years.
Hollywood.
But Dennis's life wasn't all flowing capes and
he was half the time a transient who made just enough money to buy the permit to be on the Hollywood Strip to take photos with people in his costume. Dragon helped remake his suit because it got stolen, and he did a GoFundMe with some people, and they had the suit be remade. So there's some shots in here.
Entertaining as it may be, street performing is not the most stable of jobs, and even the most well-known performers might be secretly living in squalor.
Yeah, a lot of them make just
Dennis's
enough to keep renting their spot.
LA's Man of Steel used to live very close to his Hollywood Boulevard
If they get
in an
a place, yeah,
apartment
it'll be a
filled with
really
Superman
small
merchandise.
apartment.
For many
It's a
costume panhandlers, their
tough
peculiar job
situation.
is essentially the only even owned one.
Oh, there it is. There's Dragon.
Constructed the costume bit by bit and got so carried away with his quest.
There's Dragon. That's my old garage. But yeah, I mean, Dragon was part of the crew that helped remake
find were a way too small pair he
his
found at a
last
women's
Superman
specialty shoe
suit that
store.
he wore. He passed
Until
away,
the size 12
unfortunately. But yeah, he's like one of the Hollywood street performers, and unfortunately, he was a transient at times. He was still a street performer. They do build up a little bit of a community. So when he's here talking with all of them, it's because he knows them, because he's here every day. He's part of this community. Not necessarily Scientology. He is more part of this transient community. This one, like I said, there's parts of it that kind of make me feel like a little icky. Like,
You are.
I don't care. Don't call me a bitch.
Okay.
Hey, cervix dogs don't behave that way. Yeah, run, motherfucker!
Be careful, he's not fine.
Hey,
Like, I understand wanting to have somebody follow him after the assault to let them know when the cops arrive where he is. When they don't really need to do that, they have a picture of him. So that's really all they need to do. Clearly, that's not a service dog. They don't need to keep screaming that at him. I don't know what they feel like. But they don't need to all be surrounding. Like, look at, there's 6 or 7 people surrounding him yelling. Just, And like, he has mental health and is already lashed out. This is not a good idea. So I actually have to give him a lot of credit in this moment for not completely losing his shit and just swinging and like worse. Actually, you could see why this could have went way worse. So I am proud of him. I have to say, at this moment, I am disappointed in him for earlier. I am proud of him at this moment for not losing his shit. Look at how alone he is. And like, it's so close to being like really scary. My brother is mentally ill. He has issues. So I know how quickly something like this can go scary. He has talked to all of the vendors and told him that all these people with the cameras have been stalking him and harassing him for a while now, and he doesn't get what the fuck why they're stalking and harassing him, but they're stalking and harassing him, and so he doesn't get what the fuck's happening. And the cops show up and they're like, well, they said you assaulted him. You assaulted somebody. And all the vendors are like, you attacked him, you're harassing him, you're bugging him. So all these vendors are now involved, and the police are involved. Now, there is a extremely bad homeless issue in California. But because of the issues, LA is like gotten really bad. They, especially with Rona, have gotten really out of hand. I'm not sure if you know that. I don't know how much you've been out in California or been around. As I was saying earlier, that a lot of these vendors, street performers, kind of live this transient lifestyle that they just hang out on the street all day. They try to make some money off of the people, the tourists that are walking by. They can be extremely aggressive. Do not put anybody's headphones on. Do not accept, people will try to hand you stuff when you're walking down Hollywood. Do not accept anything unless you want to be harassed. So I'm not saying that I don't like these people, but I can say that they are kind of obnoxious. Any tourist trap you go to. But so, I'm sorry, I don't like street vendors very much. It's very scammy. It's a different type of lifestyle. It's more of a transient lifestyle. It's different. And again, if you look at all of the people that are coming up to him and talking to him, they are all of the, like, the street vendors and the other people on the street. I feel like, yes, he must have anger issues. I feel like, yes, he's probably going crazy and feeling like there's a lot of people after him and he doesn't understand why. And that's because a bunch of people decided he's attached to Scientology. And he's not necessarily, he could be. I don't fucking know. Plot twist could be he was hired by Scientology the whole time. And I'm the only person that's like, I actually kind of feel bad and think he's not actually associated to Scientology. So I don't know a nicer way to put it, but it is, unfortunately, this is the transient community clashing against the Scientology protest community. If they want to win over the transient community, start bringing sandwiches and drinks with you to give out to them.
Who is he yelling at?
Win them over by feeding them and being charitable. I don't fucking know.
Look at all the cops, guys. This is the real deal.
Not recording them and running up and being like, hey, hey, hey. That's what I'm saying. Like, Scientology probably just gives them a bottle of water every now and then. That's all they have to do. Not even every single time. Just every now and then. And all of a sudden, they like Scientology. They don't like these people. I think that's where they're wrong. That's what inspired me to make this video, because I feel like that's the wrong perspective. If like I pointed out the guy on the bike that was yelling, no, that's the transient. They don't like all the live streamer.
It's crazy.
They don't like that attitude. Those YouTuber live streamer people down in Hollywood, they have like a slight animosity towards them. Somebody's supposed to come and get his dog. Sergeant at least got out of the vehicle for a little bit. And I mean, I get it. The officers are trying not to arrest the transient because they don't want to upset all the vendors and all of that. Like, all of them guys, all of these guys are the vendors and the transient community that are there that are all amped up. And they know this is just going to instigate them. And they're trying not to. Okay, so I made a point earlier and I didn't specify why, but when they were standing on the corner and I was talking, I don't know if Boom's still here, but they were standing on the corner and I was talking about how it could escalate really scarily, really scarily, and this is why. So they're telling the guy that he's going to be arrested and they're going to have him empty his pockets.
If they're about to arrest me, you take my phone and you keep
they pull out a bag for him to empty his pockets in. I don't know exactly when they're going to do it. But he has like 5 knives on him. There's like 5 or 6 knives. So it's just like, knowing what I know and seeing them surround him on the corner like that and what he has in him, and like, I'm proud of him for not snapping and losing his shit on that corner. Like, oh my God. Knowing what I know and then watching the other live streams and the way that they were following him around, it was like, oh, my anxiety. So 1, 2.
Did he have a big... He had 5 knives on him? He had 5 knives on him. 5 knives on him. Let me get a good angle of this.
If you grew up in a cult and you don't understand the really gross underbelly of how California can be. Now, I know I don't go to Hollywood at night because it's really gross and really nasty. Here, let's pull up a couple of these. So this video
I set out to find the hotspots
was
of poverty
made
in LA. I was told the Veterans
2
Park
years
would be
ago.
a good place to start.
The glory days of Hollywood might be over, but on any given day, it's still one of the most popular tourist destinations in America. People flock here as a sort of pilgrimage, eager to gaze at the idols and landmarks they've only seen in media. Celebrity culture is ingrained into the very foundation of Hollywood. It's etched into the stars that line the Walk of Fame, only to be pissed on and trampled like every other street in LA.
It's one of those where they say that, like, oh, drugs and this leads to other problems. I'm not a drug addict, I don't do anything, I don't touch on that. But they're like, oh, if we cut out all the drugs, then there would be way less crime. There'll be a lot less violence and crime if the cops were looking at this.
Growing homeless encampment close to a school in Hollywood. They say it's getting bigger and nothing's being done about it. Eyewitness News reporter Sophie Flay joining us live in Hollywood with the concerns of residents and parents and how the city of LA is responding. Sophie.
Mark, last month we reported on the concern for parents who have children that go to Larchmont Charter School, and it's clear they're not alone. People who live in this neighborhood are desperate to see this area cleaned up. A lively scene on Selma Avenue tonight. This large homeless encampment blocking the sidewalk on either side, spilling into the street. The number of tents outside of Larchmont Charter School continues to grow.
There's needles on the ground. Also, there's a lot of broken glass. You're getting catcalled. You're getting people that have mental illness. You're seeing profanity. Sometimes you see people naked running around.
The Hollywood encampment lines Selma Park, which neighbors say has now been overrun by those experiencing homelessness.
It looks like a junkyard on our block, and it's just not safe. There's dogs there. We don't feel comfortable. The other day, a neighbor's dog got attacked in the neighborhood.
They almost burned down the back half of our historic office there.
Last month, we showed you this picture of students having to dodge tents by walking in the street on their way to school. But these tents cannot be moved without orders from City Council member Hugo Soto Martinez, who previously told Eyewitness News he believes moving encampments temporarily can hurt their efforts to get them into permanent housing. They're working to ensure people living at this encampment are connected to housing and social services.
Like, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a single fuck. 0 fucks.
The garbage and debris has also been piling up on the sidewalks. KTLA 5's more Lister.
City officials say they've been doing outreach out here for months, extending interim housing,
yeah,
often
like,
hotel rooms, to
right there at the
everyone living
Hollywood
out
Hills,
here.
it's
That
like
is
there's so
voluntary,
many,
and today
and they've
people
like
are moving,
tried forcing
and
them to
trash
move.
trucks are out here, heavy equipment.
So they literally
cleaning
just
up.
like came
We're
in and
seeing
cleaned them up.
RVs, and in some cases,
This is a
school
month ago.
buses get towed out. City officials say
Like,
they're
they're not
offering
even
to store
functional.
those vehicles for people in storage yards, telling Cal Fire says this is a high fire hazard severity zone, not safe for the 50 RVs that have been living here making up this encampment.
Look at this,
Now,
like,
we
can't
aren't
even
able to
walk,
get
you have,
close
like,
enough to talk to
walk
residents. They're
in the
not letting
street.
us in. We were able to talk to a man who says he was here to help a couple of his friends who live out here, a man and a woman in their 30s who live in an RV, and he says struggle with substance abuse.
Are more than 500 homeless RVs. This is LA, but looks more like a third world country.
But there are in California, but there is a lot of them near Hollywood just because it is a touristy. There's a lot by Santa Monica. And I mean, the homeless situation has gotten bad everywhere, but it's just like, it's so weird in Hollywood. Okay, so those are the perspectives from both Aaron's side and the dog guy's side. But there's actually another perspective I want to go into a little bit, and that's the cops' perspective. Cops, on average, deal with a lot of craziness day to day. I feel these cops are looking at like these anti-Scientology protesters as being almost the same as like First Amendment auditors. They tend to record their interactions, and they will go to like the police and government facilities to make sure that their First Amendment rights will be upheld and that the cops aren't overstepping their power, but they definitely do piss off the police in the process. Why I compare the two in this way is the protesters are recording, so that parallel, and they're asking for the badge number and the name of the officer. They're trying to record into the police cruisers, their computers. So I do feel like they're coming in with a little bit of hostility that they would have the same as First Amendment auditors. And they're all telling the cops that all of these guys are following him around and harassing him. And they know, he's had a few run-ins with the cops. They kind of know he has some issues. He's well known by the police, and usually when you're well known by the police is not for a good reason. The reason being is usually because of mental health issues, drug issues, or transient, like what I believe that this guy is, that he is part of that community. So when the cops come there, they know about this community, that it is separate from Scientology. It's its own bag of shenanigans. It's a whole separate issue, a whole separate bag of craziness that we don't want to mix up. He also has a dog.
Okay, watch this,
They know
so
that
I'm
if they
walking,
take the dog
I
in,
see
it's
him.
going to be an
Now look,
issue.
I'm behind
They
him,
know
he's
if they
walking away
touch
from me.
him, the
Okay,
dog
I'm
is
not
going to be
even
an
talking to
issue.
him.
For a long time, the cops
That's what he
are
said to me.
talking to him. The cops are talking to the different people here.
Yeah,
None
too
of
many
these people here were there where it happened. This is not the spot where this assault happened. But yeah, so he's walking around. Okay, so like I heard a couple people in videos being like, why is he walking around and like high-fiving and being like, hey, hey, to like all these guys? Okay. I'm gonna let it play for a second. You see the cops kind of, hey, hey, how's it going? Hey, hey, how you doing? How's the family? Okay. Now, on one point, yes, I agree. On patrol, you can do this shit. This shit is encouraged. This is very good. When you are coming to scene, maybe not the best use of your time. Okay. But the scene has been being processed for over a fucking hour and 10 minutes at this point. So I get where they're less rushed. Trying to diffuse the situation. And the first process of diffusing this situation is working on their relations with these street vendors. Now, these street vendors didn't see what happened, but they got the other guy's side that's part of their friends, their network. So they're sitting there going, yeah, no, he didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. These people are crazy. He didn't do shit. So Iceman. And he saw him and he kind of like was like, huh. And so he started recording him. And you see him walking around to the different vendors and they're saying what they think happened. Now, again, I don't know if the cops think this is where this happened. So they think that they saw something and they can have, I don't know. He could just be, again, going around being like, it'll be all right. It'll be all good. We're going to try to get this solved. Nobody's getting arrested because he doesn't want it to escalate with all of these vendor guys. I don't know. And it becomes this whole thing. So then these cops are sitting here like, wait, what the fuck's going on? All the Scientology people are like, he's with Scientology. Scientology. And they're like, he's not with Scientology. Fuck. These people are crazy and they're recording and this is weird. That's what I feel like is going through all their heads. Like, what the fuck? What does this have to do with Scientology? Can you please explain to me, how in the fuck is Scientology involved?
Just like, I don't really get it. I don't know. I think it happened in front of the Scientology Center, so that's what has to do with Scientology?
Like,
oh, really? Like, so wait, but why do they keep saying he's with Scientology?
that's what I see happening. The cops are like, wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? And all the Scientology protesters are like, the cops are with Scientology. These girls, I don't think are with, not every single person is with Scientology. I feel like these girls are just like the Scientology protesters. There's a whole bunch of them with cameras. So all of a sudden there's like this large gathering and they're arguing with all of the vendors and that community. And now they're all being told that he for sure, Aaron, wants him arrested. And the cops have been trying to de-escalate all of the transits and vendors, that community, that are getting amped up with all of the live streamers and that community. And so all these cops are coming in because they're like, oh fuck, is this going to become like a big issue? Or is there going to be like a whole clash here? Where that's really funny is this guy. Now, he's got everybody else, he got 2 stripes on his thing, right? So he's a commander or a corporal or some shit, right?
Yeah, he's right, still right there.
Okay, so he's the corporal. Everybody's calling Iceman. He is associated to Scientology. Plot twist. You didn't necessarily expect that coming, did you, Boom? Did ya? You knew Scientology protesters were involved, but did you know he's associated to Scientology? This guy right here.
This new cop just showed up on the scene, and even though he's not the sergeant, he seems to be in charge.
Where this is actually the sergeant, and the sergeant doesn't even get out of the car. Aaron instantly, the second he saw him, knew to like lock on
Let's see how
him
this goes.
and
I've got a feeling
focus
it's
on
about
him.
to
And there's a reason
less than
why.
great.
He recognizes him somehow.
Not yet,
He's
right,
like,
still right
huh,
there.
he seems familiar. Like, I mean, yeah, Aaron made a video where they went in. Yeah, this guy's linked to Scientology. He's done a couple of videos. He did like a video where he like broke down everything that happened. But yeah, he did like where they've basically dug into the one cop and were like, how
Iran is
funny is it that it turns out he yeah, they like figured out what his pay was. Try doing acting.
That's the actual guy that American Sniper, the movie.
But that he's like been at Scientology events. Let's see. Yeah, here.
Here's Timmy Tallman performing at Scientology's 2018 Celebrity Center Christmas Gala.
Yep, so this guy is the one that decided to arrest him, and he's singing here at a Scientology event. So it's like, yeah, there was some Scientology, so they're not completely in cuckoo crazy conspiracy land by being like Scientology. But I don't think that the dog guy is. Okay, so that's my perspective on this video. I want to say if the Scientology protesters want to try and repair the relationship with the transient community, they need to change their approach a bit. It might take a bit of time, but I honestly am not sure it's even possible now, as I've heard it's escalated even worse between someone and another protester. Best advice I could give is to treat them like a ghost. Just ignore the transients and don't make eye contact. Focus only on the Scientologists and the message that you're trying to share. Working on revoking tax exempt status being a big one. I am glad Aaron is okay, and at least he got a good story out of all of this. And, you know, he did have his gimbal, so he was able to block the dog bites, so that's good. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this extremely long video. So sorry for that. I appreciate you if you got to this point. I heart your faces. I will see you next time. Boy, boy, boy.